So we're talking about iconic moments from the Daytona 500 today on Race Hub. And the race from 1998 is one that many fans and drivers alike consider one of their most memorable. The Trivial Pursuit question of the decade is who finished second in that race? That would be Bobby Labonte.
Boom.
What's that like, right? I mean, obviously you go through the emotions of finishing second, but then you also realize who you finished second to and what that meant to him in the sport. What was that like?
Yeah, well...
Thank you so much, Michael. So time now to tell you about DraftKings, which is an official daily fantasy partner of NASCAR. And today, you can play for free for your share of over $800,000 in total prizes. Just sign up using promo code PITSTOP and draft 6 of your favorite drivers from the race in Daytona Beach. If you want to get in on the action and play for free, we've got you covered. All right, Bobby, it is your turn. You get to pick 6 drivers. You have to stay within the cap of $50,000. So who are you starting with?
Well, Shannon, I'm going to start off with Kevin Harvick. He won the 2007 Daytona 500, looked really good.
So you're lucky because you're going on Friday, and everybody else has had to pick earlier in the week.
That's right.
3, who you got for number 3?
Jimmy Johnson for 8,200, two-time Daytona 500. Daytona in July there last year, I think it was, or year before last. And, oh, by the way, he won the Busch Clash. I think this is a no-brainer.
He did it with a little help from his friends, so you don't have much money left. So who are you going with next?
Well, I'm going to go with Matt DiBenedetto. You know, Matt led Newman a lot. He is a guy that's always there at the finish. I have run with him so many times. It's like, this is a no-brainer for me. So Ryan Newman is my guy. He will be there at the end.
And if he's up front at the end, you know that he's able to make all those blocks happen, right? And prevent someone from getting past them.
Yeah.
I think so. Okay, we still have a lot of racing coming up this weekend, of course.
Many times, many years, it didn't happen. So it's a prestigious race, and we all want to win it. And sometimes you don't.
Right. Yeah.
But the 1, 2, 3 finish, I think, is incredible. And, of course, Joe Gibbs Racing was able to do it 1 year ago. What a celebration having all of your guys up front. I'm sure Eric Jones said, hey, I'll be able to win a race here pretty soon, right?
Yeah. And by the way, Bill Elliott was the class of the field that day, but he was outnumbered.
There you go. All right, we've had a number of practices, the Clash qualifying, the dual races. It's been a great week at Daytona, but now things get real. Now it's time to focus on the granddaddy. Sunday's 500-mile race. So there are 2 Daytona Truck Series winners in tonight's race, Johnny Sauter and Austin Hill. Sunday, there are more than 3 times as many Daytona 500 winners in the field. 7 for, along with my friends David Reagan and, of course, America's crew chief Larry McReynolds. I mean, Larry, you just saw all those highlights. Racing's past, but you've been in the sport for so long. Can you remember a time when we've had such a build-up for a race?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. 20 season ended, and now here we are with cars and trucks on the dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. I think no matter what role you play, it's going to be cool to look back and say you were part of this.
Yeah, I think the racing's going to be great. And hey, I'm just glad we've got some practice, some qualifying races. The first time we've had that since the Daytona 500 weekend. So a lot of fun stuff to look forward to this weekend.
And it was cool because I came in and I saw you sitting in the makeup room and you were glued to the TV watching the practice. I think people are really excited to see what's going to play out on Sunday. And it's not just the racetrack itself that looks different. The banking, the track itself has changed.
Well, yeah, and I think about 7 degrees of banking out of that half-mile racetrack.
I can't wait to see them try to clean all that up. When the guys get on the racetrack, what is going to be the difference in terms of what we see when it's a regular Bristol than this weekend?
Yeah, Shannon, we're going to have a lot more worn-out racetrack, Atlanta, Homestead. This is double that. You know, you really are slipping and sliding.
It's going to be so much fun to watch. Can't wait. This, of course, is one of the weekends, as David just spoke. Mentioned Bowman. What'd you see out of him out there?
Well, he was fast right out of the gate. The first lap on the racetrack was the fastest lap for him and the fastest lap for that number 88 team. So the track changed a lot. He ran a 20.
A lot of Toyota drivers, but you know they're kind of going, we've got Christopher Bell and you don't. And, of course, they were watching him
Well, and
today.
you think about it. We've got 7 active current Cup go to school on because, honestly, Martin especially, but Martin and Kyle both, very little divisions last week in the Bristol Dirt Nationals.
All right, if you're Christopher Bell and you saw Martin Truex Jr. do what he did during this practice, what would you say?
Maybe back it down a little. Yeah, we're going to, the dirt tracks are maybe a little bit more forgiving, like Larry said. The racetrack's a little wider, so you're going to have some of those guys. They're going to spin out, they're going to refire the engine and get back going again.
All right, Toyota's got Christopher Bell, Chevy's got Kyle Larson. Larson. What do you think about what you saw?
Well, I think all fingers have been pointing at Kyle Larson. He went out there and made a now, the condition it's in, it's hard to find consistency because it's changing so rapidly.
And it will change so much over these long runs.
Oh, it'll change from 10 to 20 laps, 20 to 40 laps, just keep changing.
Keep your eyes on the track. It's going to be exciting. And, of course, we're not the only ones who've been waiting for this weekend. What about the guys who have to go out there and figure this track out? They have had plenty to say before arriving. Kevin Harvick had to say, right? I mean, as a driver, David, you always want to be challenged, and he is challenging himself even more so because he's in the truck race as well.
Well, let's not lie. Kevin Harvick would love to be at Michigan with a 4-second lead, you know, after practice, and I could almost see the smile through his mask. He was having some fun. So a guy like Kevin Harvick, he's a
his interviews, I actually had a read any of these other races that other drivers have been running, but I think the more he runs...
14th in practice for Kevin Harvick, but of course a busy weekend for Old Happy. We've got one guy we'll all be looking at on Sunday is, of course, Christopher Bell. His racing resume is flooded with wins on dirt tracks and big wins. 3 Chili Bowls, Eldora, a USAC Midget Championship. So, of course, when NASCAR announced drivers would race on dirt, Bell's name was one of the first mentioned as a favorite. So what does Bell think of the dirt and his start to the season? Caitlin Vincey got candid with Bell to thank you so much, Caitlin. So when you talked about Kevin Harvick having like a big red X on this weekend, you know that Christopher Bell had a big red circle. He's got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he is feeling good, Shannon, and I do believe, and I got to imagine.
Yeah, the direction that this team is moving in, what do you think?
Yeah, I get a little concerned. If you take that Vegas and Phoenix, but the 2 races they've seen to struggle were those slick, no-grip, mile-and-a-half tracks at Atlanta and Homestead.
I'm excited to see what he can do out on that track this weekend. I'm excited. Time now to play a little game we like to call What Are the Chances? I'm going to set a statement to these guys. They're going to tell me percentage-wise what they think, whether it will or will not happen. All right, first one, David. We will see more than 10 cautions on Sunday. What are the chances?
Well, I would say 100%, but it's only 250 laps, Shannon, so 80%. I think there's an 80% chance we're going to see more.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever given a number like this on this show, but I will say 100%.
100%?
Yeah, well, so we're guaranteed 2 at the stage breaks. All we need is 8 more. 39 cars on a dirt track the first time in over 50 years? Absolutely.
Oh, 100%, Larry McReynolds. Clip that for him. We'll bring it back next week. Denny Hamlin has another top 5 Sunday. What do you say?
He's going to run well, but I'm only going to say 35% chance to get that top 5. I just don't know if he's going to be able to, I think, stay out of trouble, but 35%.
Good practice so far.
Yeah, Shannon, I'm going to go 60%. I've got a little more confidence than Larry does. You know, Denny's on his way up to that top 6, 7, top 5, and I think he'll school some of those other dirt boys up there.
How many winners do we have this year so far?
6.
6 different winners. What are the chances we have 7 different winners? David?
I'm going to go 90%, Shannon.
Really?
I feel pretty strong that we're going to keep this trend going. I think we'll see our 7th winner this weekend on Sunday.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm going to have to bring that number down
You're
a little
pumping the
bit
brakes.
because of a couple of our dirt aces. They've already been to victory lane. I'm going to say 55% that we get that 7th winner in 7 races. I hope we get it. I think what a cool story that is.
It sure would be. All right, here's another cool story. A driver with no dirt experience gets the win.
I'm going to go small here, 15%.
Really?
I just think, even though these are heavy cup cars, not like dirt experience will prevail.
I'm going even smaller, Shannon.
Really?
Yeah, 5%. Yeah, I agree with Larry. And there's a few that haven't won a race. Also, the other one, we'll have our 7th winner.
I don't know. I got a feeling. I just got a feeling that one of our regulars, one of our non-dirt aces are going to win this. I just got a feeling about it. I also have a feeling that you can win some money.
That are in the race, and you mentioned Haley Deegan. She was 3rd in practice. She did have a little spin, but I think she's...
Watching these guys and girls make some laps around the fastest half mile, and I'm looking to see how that crowd in the top 10 shift. The track's a lot slicker. It's a little slower now, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Get some bragging rights at the Friesen house.
That's right.
Absolutely. Truck final practice coming up.